For what purpose does the gentleman from Rhode Island seek recognition? Without objection.
Madam Speaker, I'd like to offer my sincere thanks to my colleagues and friends, Congresswoman Wasserman Schultz and Congresswoman Myrick, for their incredible courage and leadership in fighting for those who are affected by breast cancer. October, as we know, is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I can think of no better way to honor and support the women living with this disease, or to honor the memories of those who have lost their battle with breast cancer, than to help raise awareness by sharing some of our own personal stories. Each one of us has a personal story to tell about how breast cancer touched the lives of our families and has changed our lives. And I'm no exception. My mother is a breast cancer survivor. She beat this disease several years ago, and I'm so proud of her for the strength and the courage that she's shown throughout a very difficult journey. She has served as an inspiration to me to be a voice here in Washington, not just for her, but for the hundreds of thousands of women and men who are diagnosed with breast cancer each year. For far too long, our nation was silent about this disease because of a pervasive fear and stigma. Thankfully, education and advocacy efforts over the past several decades have empowered survivors to come out of the shadows and walk down the halls of Congress to demand action. It's because of my mother and the Rhode Island advocates, who I am so proud to represent, that I joined with a strong majority of my colleagues to fight for increased funding for research at the National Institutes of Health and the Department of Defense, so that we may continue to advance life-saving treatments for breast cancer patients everywhere. However, this is not just about research. We must also ensure that every patient has access to proper medical care. And I believe that the only way to do this is through comprehensive health insurance reform. Madam Speaker, Congress certainly just must pass a bill that covers preventative service such as mammograms and MRIs, eliminates discriminatory exclusions for individuals with pre-existing conditions, and ensures gender parity. I strongly believe that access to quality health care should be a fundamental right and not a privilege for the wealthy who can afford it. I hear stories daily from friends and constituents whose lives are turned upside down due to a cancer diagnosis. Our nation can and we must do better. Together we can make a difference in the lives of breast cancer patients everywhere. I'd like to once again acknowledge my colleagues here today and this evening for speaking out in the fight against breast cancer, and I look forward to my continued work with them in the future. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I yield back the balance of my time.